Hi everyone, I'm Dave Ritter, CEO of the Penta Global Blockchain Foundation, coming to you for the first time in 2019. So I want to start today by wishing everybody a happy, healthy, and successful year in 2019. I believe that 2019 is going to be a great year for blockchain, for cryptocurrency, and for innovative technology. I just went to an event in downtown Los Angeles last night. That was January 8th. Today's January 9th. For AI, artificial intelligence. And I was so inspired by some of the projects that I heard, what people are developing and innovating, from AI in traffic lights to AI in distributed energy. Distributed energy, by the way, is something that Penta is very interested in and currently in talks to work on a project. So listen, there is great technology, great innovation happening, and this is really inspiring. Oh, you can see I have a new mail that just popped up. So without further ado, I'd like to dig into the latest progress report for Penta, what's been going on with the Penta chain, and we actually have some really big news. So let me pull up our progress report. Whoop, see my email there? Okay. So, oh, my apologies. This is what we want. The progress report for December 17th to the 31st, but I actually missed one video, my apologies, earlier in December. So we're going to look at the whole month of December. The whole month of December was about rolling out the Penta Testnet. And those of you who follow Penta know that we, in fact, deployed the Penta Testnet on December 28th, 2018, which is fulfilling our promise based on the original timeline that we would roll out the testnet in 2018 Q4. So we did that. And I just want to point out that to get there, our tech team, our whole Penta team, but especially our technology team, which has really expert, experienced blockchain developers, worked overtime so many nights for months on end to make sure that we could release our product on time. So I just want everybody to realize how hard the Penta team has worked to get to this point. And also to note that even though the markets have been really bad for a sustained period of time, we've seen months of downturn in the crypto markets, the Penta team is still delivering on the tech. And that's really the hallmark of Penta. We are an enterprise-focused blockchain that's going to be supporting high-performance applications as the blockchain industry moves into the mass adoption space, which we might start to see in 2019 with the real world adoption of real world applications. And in order to get there, you need to have strong, robust, and versatile base layer technology. And that's exactly what Penta is offering. And that's exactly what we delivered with our testnet. I'm going to show you a video so you can see what the testnet looks like. And we're going to talk about what is happening currently and where we're going moving forward. So let's come back now to the progress report, and I'll just go through this real quick with you guys. So we did launch the testnet version 0.1 on December 28th, 2018. What this includes is the Blockchain Explorer, our Penta PC wallet, and of course DSC Consensus, which is up and running and fully operational. So as you can see, we're already moving on to version 0.2. In order to get there, we are reviewing and adjusting code. We're optimizing the design of the DLOS ledger module to fully support multiple ledger structures. Now, DLOS is Penta's solution to the cross-chain problem. How do you make different blockchains interoperable? And remember that Penta's answer to interoperability is different from other projects. We have a three-pronged answer to interoperability because blockchain-to-blockchain interoperability is not enough. We need to be able to bridge the gap between the off-chain world and the on-chain world. So with Penta's DLOS, our decentralized ledger operating system, what we're looking to do is to bridge the gap between on-chain and off-chain systems. Let me just readjust this ever so, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm not cutting off Penta there in the background. So that's what we're trying to achieve with the DLOS, and that's proceeding apace. Now, our goal and our development timeline is to deliver the DLOS by the end of this year. We'll take a look at the development timeline later on. Now, the smart contract compiler is something that we have completed, at least the first version of it. What the smart contract compiler does is it allows developers who are experienced in Solidity language smart contracts to deploy the same smart contracts onto Penta. So this is also part of our cross-chain solution where we can read and process the smart contracts that are running on other projects. This is important because, listen, if you are a developer and you are developing an enterprise-grade smart contract that runs on one chain, you may have consumers on the Penta chain and you need to reach them. So we need a smart contract compiler that's able to validate smart contracts in the Penta blockchain browser. And as you can see, what we're doing now is we're reducing the complexity. In other words, we're increasing the user friendliness of the smart contract compiler, and that is almost complete. So that's a brief look at where we are in terms of moving from 0.1, the testnet that was launched on December 28th, to 0.2. PC wallet component and graphical interface, version 1 is complete. We released the wallet. That's going to be, you can download the PC wallet from the Penta website, www.penta.global. Now we are doing smart contract testing on the smart wallet. We've already completed our SDK integration for smart contracts in the IPC. Now for optimizing the gas strategy for the Penta wallet, we're still working on that. So what we need to figure out right now is how do we calculate the gas so that it makes sense for the transactions that are going to be happening on the Penta wallet. Now I do want to be very clear about one thing, because the first question that's going to pop up in some of your minds is, gas, is there going to be another token for Penta gas? And the answer is no. We're only going to have the one PNT token. All transactions will occur in PNT, and then of course any transaction fees are going to be in PNT. Now, Penta transaction fees are going to be lower than existing platforms. Why? Because we've designed the network to be fast, efficient, and cheap. We understand that to win this game, we need to be cheaper, safer, more robust, and more interoperable than our competitors. And if you look at the Penta test chain that we've released, that's exactly the direction that we're heading in. And at least as far as the consensus is concerned, and the blockchain browser and our incentive system, I believe people will see that we're delivering on that promise. So that's kind of a broad look. In terms of the blockchain browser, I'll just say that version 1 is complete. We're very far along on version 2 of the browser, so we're very close to releasing version 2. We are reviewing and adjusting code on that. It's about 50% complete. I'm going to show you the blockchain browser, so I won't say anything more about that. Let's take a quick look at marketing before I move on to showing you the testnet. On December 17th, our Penta ambassador in Uganda, that is Kule Wilson, he's also managing East Africa for us, was invited by the Ugandan Agricultural Minister, the Honorable Christopher Kibanzanga, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, to participate in a forum at which he represented Penta and discussed empowering agribusiness through the use of technology. Now, this is actually part of a series of conversations that Wilson has had on behalf of Penta directly with the agricultural minister. He's actually been to his house. There's pictures we've released on Telegram and through WeChat and also on Twitter, I think, showing him with the Honorable Christopher Kibanzanga. Now, a country like Uganda has interesting challenges when it comes to agriculture because of infrastructure problems. And so it's also a landlocked country. And so using technology to solve some of those problems and to optimize can be really beneficial to that sector. And we're very excited about the possibility of bringing our Penta technology, also payment solutions, down to a country like Uganda. And listen, for me, for the Penta team, this technology is all about being inclusive. Inclusive economy, inclusive society, inclusive social elements. This is what we want to achieve with blockchain. And I hope you'll take the time to look further into Penta's DSC consensus, not just from the perspective of the technology, but also the way that we're structuring our incentive model, because we're really trying to build an inclusive community. And that's what's going to really matter going forward with these public chains. On December 21st, we did list the Penta Network token, PNT, on our first Middle Eastern exchange, UPEX, and there was a USDT trading pair. So this UPEX platform has been certified by the Central Bank of Bahrain, and this is very exciting because we believe that this is going to be one of the exciting exchanges going forward in the Middle East. It's also the first time that PNT has been launched on a Middle Eastern exchange, and we're very excited about growing our ecosystem there. We also released Penta earlier in December on SolX, which is a Korean exchange. And that's exciting because it's the first time we've released Penta in a Korean exchange. So you can see we're trying to broaden our appeal to different markets with PNT, and that's very exciting. And by the way, we've been getting questions about listing on some of the larger exchanges. That's coming up in 2019. Right now, there's not a tremendous amount of liquidity in the marketplace. But we believe that 2019 is going to be a year where that picks up. We're going to see more interaction, more involvement from institutional investors. And as that comes into the marketplace, liquidity will go up. And you can believe that PNT is going to be listed in the exchanges where we're seeing real, valuable transactional volume. So that kind of rounds out the marketing activities. Of course, I do live broadcasts every 2 weeks with our Chinese community. There's going to be a live broadcast with our East African community based out of Uganda coming up in January. I'm very excited about that. We had obviously we went through Christmas, so we had some Christmas events. This one was for the community where we did a Christmas announcement and did some activities where we released Penta tokens, which we tend to do. So this is for our WeChat, for our Chinese community. All right, so that's basically the progress report. Now what I want to do next is I want to show you guys, ladies and gentlemen, take a first look at the Penta testnet. Now this video was taken before we released the testnet, but it's the same tech that you can see on our testnet. So let me walk you through this. This is a video that was actually filmed by a dApp developer that is looking to release on Penta. They have more than 1 million users, and they weren't supposed to take this video, but it got released, and I'm using it now to show you. So here's the blockchain browser. Now the blockchain browser, what you can see here is there's 26 nodes participating in DSC consensus. This was internally, 10 delegates, 16 witnesses. In the testnet that we launched on December 28th, which is public, we launched with 15 nodes, 6 delegates, 9 witnesses, and we're going to slowly scale up from there. So we're taking an incremental approach to that, but our goal is to have at least over 100, and we're hoping to get as close to 1,000 as possible by the time we get our mainnet fully launched and operational. So we're going to be growing a large ecosystem, and I hope that you viewers out there who are listening to this are going to help us do that. Here you can see a transaction in real time. So they're sending 20,000 PNT, and already you can see the progress. This is the transaction being processed there. It's been complete, so that you can see how fast that transaction is going through. 20,000 PNT, and you can see all the details on the transaction history here. This shows you the latest blocks. You can see the height of the latest block. And so this is available to the public now, and people who participate in DSC Consensus will use this. Here's the Developer Center for developers who are going to help us grow the ecosystem from the technical side. And we're going to be publishing our source code on GitHub incrementally starting in the coming weeks. You can see here our account system. Let me pause this just for a second. Now, Penta's account system is unique. It's different from existing platforms. What we've done is we've surveyed what are some of the security issues that are plaguing some of the existing platforms. We've also recognized a big problem with user experience. And so for blockchain to get to mass adoption, one of the things that we have to be able to do is make it user-friendly. We have 4 accounts. That sounds like a lot, but we're using the accounts for different things. Now, one of the accounts is going to be used for consensus. If you decide you want to become a delegate or witness node and participate in DSC consensus, for which you will receive PNT incentive payments, then you can use the account that's specific to that. One of the accounts is really like a master or backup account that you can use to retrieve funds if there's a problem with one of your other accounts. And that's very important because, as you know right now, if you, for whatever reason, lose access to your accounts on Bitcoin or Ethereum, it's gone. You're never going to get those funds back. And that shouldn't be the case. It's your money, it's your funds. You should have control and secure access to your assets. Okay, so that was a brief overview of what the Penta Chain looks like. That's our testnet. As I said, we're up with 15 nodes currently running. In January, we're going to release, we did a soft release in December, but we're going to do a full release of our global partner node project where we're going to invite people to get involved with the delegate and witness node program to help us scale up our DSC consensus, the nodes that are participating in real time on the consensus. So I invite all of you to check out more information on our testnet on our website, www.penta.global, and keep your eye out for our publication of source code, which is going to go up on GitHub in the coming weeks. A few people have expressed concern that it hasn't gone up yet. We will be releasing that. Listen, Penta is fully committed to being an open source project. We will release all of our code. It's just a matter of how we do it. We've chosen to do it incrementally as we believe that serves the interest of our project. We also are a little protective of DSC, which is our unique consensus and what we believe will be the major selling point for Penta's public chain going forward. There was some negative price action we saw in the markets for Penta after the release of the testnet. That's also typical for testnets. We've seen some negative price action. The other reason is that we released some tokens from lockup to investors. And of course, we've been transparent about that. So every time we release additional PNT into the circulating pool, that sometimes can drive down the price a little bit. But let's take a look at Penta's price action today. This is on CoinMarketCap, and you can see that Penta's up a nice 9%. So listen, I mean, oh, and by the way, we did get new word from CoinMarketCap that they're finally going to update the information on circulating supply, and you're going to see the market cap. So we're going to start getting a solid ranking for Penta, and this is going to increase the exposure of Penta to traders in various markets. Penta is currently listed now on about 7 or 8 exchanges, including SolX and UPEX, which I just mentioned. Huobi Global is the biggest exchange we're on currently, and we're going to be listing on some big exchanges later in 2019. So please keep your eye out for updates to the Penta testnet. And again, I want to invite everybody to become involved with our ecosystem activities, with our developer outreach through the Developer Center you saw there. You can access that through our website. Or also, if you're interested, if you're a project developer and you're looking for a public chain to launch on, now that Penta is live with our testnet, I hope you'll consider talking with us about bringing your excellent and innovative projects to the Penta ecosystem. Thank you very much. And again, I want to wish everybody a happy, healthy, prosperous 2019. And to everybody in the blockchain world, I want to reiterate, I think 2019 is going to be a great year for crypto, for blockchain technology, and for mass adoption of blockchain technology. So let's work together to solve some of the problems facing the technology, and let's work together to bring confidence and new people to the crypto markets. Wishing everybody a happy 2019. We will come back with a new video in a couple of weeks and update you on the latest progress for Penta. Thank you.